improve basketball IQ. I'm Tony. Welcome back to Streetball Strategy.
Yeah, you know we want it. Yeah, I'm going hard. Every time I'm in the game, know I need the ball. I do it by myself. Yeah, I could do it all. And if you got it, I'll be laughing at you when you fall.
Today we're talking about improving your basketball IQ, and let's just define what we're talking about so that we're on the same page. For the sake of this video, I'm going to refer to basketball IQ as two parts. One, making the best decision you can make in whatever situation. Even if a situation is terrible and it seems like there really is no good decision to make, you still need to be able to make the best decision in any given situation. And secondly, you're making the best decision you can so that you can then take the best action necessary to accomplish a given goal. So let's talk about how we can get you to be as proficient as you possibly can be at doing those two things. The first step to having a better basketball IQ is awareness. In order to make these good decisions, you need to understand what's happening around you first. A mistake a lot of beginners make is when they get on the court, they feel like they have to constantly be acting. They have to constantly be dribbling, be moving, be running. They have to actively be doing something, because if they don't feel like they're playing the game right. They don't feel like they have a purpose. Therefore, many players will take action without really knowing or understanding what's happening around them. And sometimes you may get lucky and make some kind of mistake wherein the result of that is good and positive and it helps you, but usually that's just a rare happenstance. It is infinitely better to know what's going on around you so then you can make decisions based on that. The deeper and more comprehensive your awareness is, the better. So ideally, not only would you understand what's going on and happening right here, right now in, say, a given play in a given game, but you would also ideally understand how and why took place in order to get you to this point, leading to, once you understand past and present, now you're able to formulate strong theories as to what's going to happen next. While ideally you would understand past, present, and possible future, you don't need to have that deep and comprehensive of awareness to be able to be effective. But at the very least, you would want to understand how and why things are happening right here, right now. Now, there are a few ways you can build this awareness. One is by just sort of understanding, having a general understanding of the X's and O's, the strategy of basketball, like how and why basketball happens the way it does. Secondly is experience. So whether that's your own personal experience being on the court, being practice, drills, workouts, or in-game competition, the more experience you have, it allows you to recognize what's happening on the court better and faster. And thirdly is through studying the game, studying your game tapes. The better you know your game, the more experience you have watching and witnessing your own game, the better your awareness is going to be, because you're going to be able to pinpoint, be aware, and recognize situations as they arrive in the future. But you can also study other people's game tapes too. So whether it be the NBA or college or even high school basketball, when you're watching them, when you're studying them, what you're trying to do is recognize situations as they happen. Say, okay, I know what's going on here and I understand how and why they got here. The better and faster you're able to do that, the sharper your awareness is going to be. So when you're not playing, you should be studying the game and trying to build your awareness and make it as sharp as you possibly can. The second part of improving your basketball IQ is to strategize, being able to form a plan of attack. From that information you gathered, forming your awareness, now you need to have a goal as to, okay, here's the situation, I'm aware of the situation, here's my goal for this situation. Once you're in that position, now it's time to form your plan of attack, to strategize how you're going to accomplish that goal. A mistake a lot of players make when it comes to strategizing is that they think it has to be way more complicated than it is. They think their strategy has to have all kinds of contingencies and be super long and complex. It doesn't have to be like that at all. It just goes, here's what's going on, here's what I want to accomplish, here's the simple steps I'm going to take to try to accomplish that goal. Especially when it comes to strategizing, I suggest keeping things as simple as possible, keeping it as few steps as possible, because the more complex, the more complicated you make it, the more opportunity then you have to make a mistake. Now you're gonna find yourself in some situations, circumstances where it has to be kind of more complex, right? You're not really gonna have a choice, but in the most cases, if you have good awareness and thus able to buy yourself time to plan with, you can keep that plan simple and concise. And really, strategizing comes down to trial and error, especially when you're first getting started and when you're first really putting in your own game plan and going, okay, here's what I think I should do in this situation. Let me try this and see how it goes. It's a lot of trial and error to get it right. And when you're talking about, in the fire of competition of basketball, become a better strategist is all about like theorizing what you're going to do and like how it's going to give you the best result you're looking for, putting into action and seeing if it works for you or not, like the way you anticipate it. The chances are it's not going to go the way you want or expect it to go, especially at the beginning. Your teammates are not always going to do what you want or expect them to do. The opponent is definitely not going to let you do what you want to do. They're strategizing against you just like you're strategizing against them. So until you kind of get the hang of that, the feel of it, the experience of it, strategizing is a skill that really needs to be honed, especially at the beginning of your career. But like I said, the better your awareness is to begin with, the better you're going to be able to strategize, because you're going to have more time to plan, giving yourself a better chance to make better decisions. The final step in improving your basketball IQ is to fail. So stay with me on this, right? So to this point, you have learned how to form your awareness of what's going on the court, buying yourself time so that you can set the right goals and strategize how to accomplish them. A mistake a lot of players make, especially newer, younger players make at this point, is to hesitate. They have the awareness, they have the strategy, but then they don't actually put that plan into action. And usually they do this because they are afraid of the failing element. They are afraid to fail, they are afraid to make a mistake, they're afraid to humiliate themselves. So even though they have the awareness and the strategy, even if both of those things are good, they may be afraid to put them into action. My advice is, once you have the strategy, just go. Just execute immediately. So even if you make mistakes, deal with the mistakes later. Act now. Failing, learning how to fail is a basketball skill in itself. Not the actual failure or mistake itself, but how do you deal with said failure or mistake? Dealing with it is the skill. Do you let it get you down, or do you just resolve to get better and then improve? There is no better teacher. For a lot of us, there is no better experience or motivation than failing. The main takeaway from failing is the fact that you then can resolve to genuinely get better. That can be easier said than done. Like when you make a mistake or you fail at whatever, you can get down on yourself, feel bad about it, and then let it hold you back and slow you down. But learning how to actually use that failure as motivation and the ability to have that failure teach you how to genuinely resolve to get better is a skill, one that you and anyone else can learn. But you're never going to acquire the experience of failing if you're trying to avoid it as much as possible. That's why I say form awareness, form a strategy, and then execute immediately. Deal with the failure, the mistake, if it happens. Deal with that later. Execute now. Best scenario, your awareness leading to your strategy works and you're successful. Worst case scenario, you embarrass yourself, you make a mistake, and you fail. But from that failure comes improvement, as long as you resolve to get better and put in the work needed to get better. So my point is, don't be afraid of the failure. Understand it's part of the process. Understand it happens to everyone. And understand the more you fail, the more mistakes you make, the more opportunity you have to learn. Thus, the more opportunity you have to get better. That's how to improve your basketball IQ. Once you learn how to put those 3 steps together in a way that is best for you and fits your game the best, your basketball IQ is going to be on par with anyone else out here. But unlike everyone else out here, I encourage you to treat basketball IQ as an actual structure and a plan. Go through those steps one by one, deliberately. Get them right, take your time. Don't let yourself get frustrated. Master that IQ building process. The more you do that, not only will you have on the same level as everybody else's IQ out here, but your ability to execute using that IQ is going to be so much better than everyone else out here, because your approach to it was more intentional and deliberate than theirs was. So I want to thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, if you found it helpful, if you think it's going to help you to build your basketball IQ, then please subscribe to the channel. Also, make sure you hit that thanks button down below, because I want to know down in the comments, what have you done that you've noticed has improved your basketball IQ? Let us know down in the comments. That can help everyone else out. But before you comment, make sure you hit that thanks button, like I said, because when you hit that thanks button, not only does it highlight your comment, making it stand out from all the other comments, but it directly supports the channel as well. So for anyone that does hit that thanks button, I genuinely appreciate it. As always, like, share, comment, like I said. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you're notified whenever any video goes live on this channel. And until then, I'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, you lying to yourself. You think you could guard me? I'm Mr. Unguardable, and you just my crony. Yeah, you just a phony. Look, I'm the real spill. Tell your favorite team your boy finna need